In the 90s, Playmates Toys made the deepest line of Star Trek action figures in history. My name's Keith, and I'm a collector working towards owning all 284. I've been a Trek fan for almost 35 years, and most people are sick of me talking about it. But somehow I've convinced my old friend Mike to review them with me on Look at My Star Trek Toys! What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Look at My Star Trek Toys. We have a special episode today. But Mike, do you know that we missed an opportunity to commemorate something very important to the history of Look at My Star Trek Toys?
Clearly, I did not know.
We missed our 100th episode.
Have we done 100 of these?
This today is 103 episodes of Look at My Star Trek Toys. Can you imagine?
I mean, yes, I can, because you're telling me so, but, the wonders never cease, Keith. This background behind us is an actual image from space. It's not one of our just made up ones. And the fact that this is real, it's all just mind-boggling. So the fact that we've done 103 episodes and that people have watched them has blown my mind. So thank you to everyone who's been a part of the journey. It's the nostalgic joy that never ceases, even when we're in bad moods. So thank you to all of you. Thanks to 100. Here's to 100 more.
Indeed. Well, and so this is a great opportunity, because the reason I know this is I needed to go and make a database of what figures we'd shown on the show, because I'm starting to lose track of whether or not we've shown it on the show. So I had to go through every episode and build a spreadsheet of what we have shown thus far of the actual Playmates figures. And this, of course, helps me build out the next 2 episodes, which will be coming up soon. We're gonna have 2 regular episodes coming up soon. Ooh. So get ready for that.
It's been a while.
But also, when I go into that spreadsheet, I have to figure out, you know what? There are still some Playmates figures that I, Keith, do not possess. I do not have them in my hands. And why is that interesting? I don't know, but a good friend of ours, the Redhead Project on YouTube at the Redhead Project, actually requested what you are about to view with the question, how many of the Playmates figures do you still need to complete the full set? Which ones are they? And given, and the new figures, do you feel, okay, that was about the 2009. And actually, with these new figures, do I need the 2009 figures to be truly complete? That is a really good question. I don't have an answer for you on that yet. Probably I will need those because they are Playmates. Not technically on this, but they continue. Maybe an idea for a video to go through the ones you still need. Well, here we are. We're going to do that. And I can tell you right now, looking at this, I have 28 of the original 90s figures that I do not own yet. But as a thank you for this, I looked up the Redhead Project. Guess what? It's a band, and they're awesome.
Yeah.
So here's a little bit from their hit, One Day. One day you realize your mistake. You can check them out at the Redhead Project here on the YouTube. You can get that on Bandicamp as well, the rest of their stuff. So the Redhead Project, the band, thank you for the idea for this video. So I think with no further ado, now...
Did they just YouTube strike us, Keith?
There's a very good chance. We'll find out.
There's a good chance you're getting a penny on every penny we make, so congrats.
Please enjoy the 63 cents that our videos make.
Hey.
So, of these figures that I don't have, there's gonna be a mixture, because some of them are the obvious crazy expensive, crazy rare figures, and some of them are just ones that I just happen to not have gotten my hands on because I buy a lot of lots, and you sort of get what you get, and you're just filling in holes. And so the first one, Mike, let's look at the first figure I don't have. Baylock from the Twin Pack. Yep.
That's our transition sound for this episode.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Get ready for 28 of them.
No, it's not. Mike's in a cranky mood. You know what? All right, here we go, Mike. You want to peek behind the curtain? Every time you do that, I'm going to go, yip, bop, boop, boop.
Oh, crap. You think you're spiting me? There's people out there like, please. Nobody listens with headphones. Does anybody listen with headphones? I'm curious.
I think a lot of people listen
Let
with
us know in the
headphones.
comments. Do you watch on your phone, on your TV? Are you listening on headphones? I need to know the consumption method because I think I'm the outlier. I watch a ton of, I would say 80% of my YouTube on, not even on my computer, on my television.
I
That's
never
absurd,
watch
right?
YouTube on my television, but I tell you what I don't do, what I imagine anybody who is watching this who lives with another person is using headphones.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely
so
right.
that they remain living with said other person.
100%. All right, tell me about Baylock, Keith. Tell me about this.
Oh, right. So, so this is from the 1998 twin packs that Playmates started putting out from the Carbonite maneuver. And so we have Kirk, we have Baylock's puppet, and then the little baby Baylock. Now, of course, I have the puppet and I have Kirk, but I do not have baby Baylock. And that's because I buy giant lots of loose figures. And somebody bought the twin pack, but lost Baylock. So it's not particularly rare. I will get my hands on it at some point. It's just not here in my hands quite yet. So let us move forward to another twin pack that I have part of.
Yep.
And that is from... This is going to be like a Cold War. Mike's in a bad mood, so we're going to be in a Cold War.
That was it, folks. That was all.
So this is Locutus from the Borg twin pack, which is
Keeps unplugging USB cords. Everything's happening.
I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know. I don't know what's I don't know what's
I love when Windows
unplugged.
does that. It's like bloop 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 bloop, and you're like, okay, I unplugged something and plugged it back in. I will tell you. I have to tell you this. Speaking of annoying, I have you try to do cord management. I don't know if you do. I do, but it doesn't work. There's cords freaking everywhere. Somehow, some cord that runs to my monitor. If I move my chair in a certain way, it shuts my monitor off for like half a second and then it comes back. I don't know where the short is. I've redone everything. It just keeps happening.
No, mine too. My third monitor. But now, and I understand that it's probably because I have a cheap USB to VGA adapter running through a USB hub running into a USB card I put at the back of it. It's like there's a lot of things that could possibly go wrong. And it's like a monitor from like 10 years ago. So
well, that's your problem. My problem is, listen, as I'm going to quote Jeff Kanata from various internet podcasts somebody probably listens to. I've got a beefy GP, which is like, I've got a beefy GPU. He calls it a beefy GP. I freaking love that term. I don't know what the problem is. Anyway, I'm sorry, folks. We're talking about things you don't care about. Tune into K&M Geekly for things you don't care about. This you do care about. Keith, tell me more about Locutus.
All right. Well, Beefy Keithy is going to tell you about the missing Locutus.
You're welcome for that. Feel very uncomfortable. I should have. Oh, you know what? Keith, say it again. What's your nickname?
There you go. Okay, great. Okay, we're on figure number 2 of 28. This was gonna be like a 10-minute video. It's not a 10-minute video anymore.
It's an episode.
So from the twin packs from 1999, I have the green-eyed Borg, which we're going to talk about in an episode coming up. But for whatever reason, the Locutus did not come with it, even out of that box of giant mess of Borgatorium. So that's one that I need. The next one is a third twin pack, but this one is much rarer. This one is much more difficult to find because according to our friends at Wixaban, from whom I stole all of these pictures, thanks Wixaban.com, check it out for an incredibly detailed and updated information on all sorts of toys and all of the Star Trek figures. It's an incredible resource. Wixaban.com. This Kirk and Spock here is limited to only 3,000.
Wow.
Apparently, which sucks, which means that's really, really rare, really hard to get your hands on. So I don't have either one of these.
Well, I would assume if you have one of these that's that rare, you want that SHIT in the box. Like you don't want to take
I
those
would
out of the box.
imagine. Yeah. So I've never seen one of these in the wild, but certainly hope to get my hands on one at some point.
That's a great question. We can do the next best thing. Thank you to Wixaban for the pictures, but If you have any of these figures Keith doesn't have, obviously, if you want to send it over, that's awesome. But I understand you probably don't want to do that.
No one's
But
going to send me this
send us some
$400
pics,
figure.
because I think a cool episode would be let's make Keith jealous, and you can send us pics of your versions of these figures that Keith doesn't have. That would make me happy. So
okay. Well,
Keith, what's that email address? Look at my Star Trek toys.
Look at my Star Trek toys at gmail.com for sure. Well, the next one is actually another Holy Grail figure. This,
cool.
There's some that are slightly rarer, but this one probably is the Holy Grail of Star Trek Playmates figures. And that, of course, is the 1701 Tapestry Picard.
These are the ones that like kind of killed the line, right? Is that what you said?
Pretty much killed the line. Yeah. So this one, they literally only made 1,701 of, which was so rare that all of the collectors out there had to give up because we'll never be able to complete our collection. I think it's going for like 500, 600 bucks right now. In package, I don't think anybody took it out of the package. So this is one that,
and it's just that he's numbered. That's it. It's nothing different than the other Picard figure.
No. They re-released, trying to fix this problem later, right? Because there's three figures they did this with, although the next two, which we're going to show, they did 3,000 of because they realized their mistake and they bumped up the run. But it was too late. They put out a 3-figure set of these figures, just not numbered. And so therefore it's exactly the same figure, but because it's not numbered, it's just like a normal old set of figures. So so these ones, the 1701s, even though the other two are 3,000, are going to be figures that I will not be able to get my hands on until I'm in a different tax bracket. Right. So in the meantime, this is going to be as close as it gets here on a Tapestry Picard. So you might as well show the next one, and that of course is the 1701 Tasha Yar. This one they did 3,000 of once they realized their mistake. I do have the makeup set version of this, the unnumbered version, but I do not have the actual.
What was the actress's name again?
Denise Crosby.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, I just forgot.
And that brings us to our next one, of course, the third in the trilogy, and that is Barclay, the 3,000 Barclay. Another one. I have the twin pack figure. I do not have this one. I will not have this. The Tasha and the Barclay, I think they're like 300, 400 bucks on eBay now, each. But I don't. It's going to be a tax bracket issue. So someday, some magical day, that would be great. Another couple of rare figures coming up next is Scotty from The Pilot.
That's a cool figure.
It's a cool figure. It's from the Pilot. You can see there's a sticker on it right there that says only 10,000 of them made. That's rarer. That's not exceedingly rare. The difference between 1,700 and 10,000 are pretty substantial. So that's one, but I don't have it yet. Certainly a little bit more expensive, a little bit harder to find because there's only 10,000 of them, much like our next figure. And that is Sulu from The Pilot, also limited to 10,000 figures. If you really want to complete that set of all of our heroes from The Pilot before they'd figured out what uniform color they wanted everybody to wear, they did a tremendous amount of uniform fixing in the first half of season 1 of the original series, though they did on all the other series as well. But that was a very strong choice. They went from bland turtlenecks to the much brighter tunic-y sort of a deal that we get later. Don't have that one. Next one, not rare, kind of cool figure. Just don't happen to have it.
Didn't we just see a Christmas version of this guy?
We did see the Christmas sort of the Mego adaptation of the Mugatu. So here it is. Fun figure. We'll look right on the shelf. Just don't happen to have it. So the next one is from this a little bit of a spoiler for Deep Space Nine, but you already know it's coming. This one also, only 10,000 of them made. This is Chief Miles O'Brien from Deep Space Nine. What's he doing wearing an original series uniform? Oh, can't talk about it, Mike. So
are we going mirror universe with him?
No, I can't
Back in
talk
time?
about it. That's none of your damn business till we get there, buddy.
Man. Ruins
Yes.
everything. I'm reading all the hype for Picard season 3. Everybody's loving it, and I can't watch it.
No, you can't. I watched the premiere last night. I found it very enjoyable.
Is it? Can I watch it?
Well,
You said you were going to screen.
yes, you can watch it, but it's going to be very frustrating when you get to episode 2, and I'm like, nope, you can't watch it.
You're right. I should at least maybe I'll do like 3, 4 at a time. Then.
Yeah, I think that's your bet. However, I loved it. I really,
Awesome.
Although season 2 started out great and then sort of lost its way a little bit. But I'm hoping. It seems like they've really put a lot of effort into tacking us in the right direction for this, and I really enjoyed it. So there you go. Anyway, let's go to our next one. This one's non-canon, Mike. This one is not part of our alpha canon. This is beta canon. This is a Starfleet Academy figure. Came with a CD-ROM game about our next-gen heroes going through Starfleet Academy. So that's Cadet Picard.
Oh, I'd like to play that game. Can we play that game?
Yeah, I'm sure we can. Yeah.
We got to get through the first one first.
We have to get to the first one first. But yeah, so I don't care for these figures because the weird jumpsuits they're wearing don't make any sense to me. Haven't played the game, so whatever. It's non-canon, but I have all the rest of them. And so if you're going to complete the collection, you got to complete the collection, and you need a Cadet Picard. There's actually one for sale at a store near me. I just need to go and suck it up and buy it. Cadet Data.
They look like G.I. Joes.
They do kind of look like G.I. Joes. Yeah. So, whatever. Cadets, blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
The next one is cool.
Wow.
Ooh. It's not canon.
The Borg Queen. Ooh, she's ready for Halloween, Keith.
So the Borg Queen from Voyager or from First Contact. I don't know which one this one is particularly commemorating. But yeah, Borg Queen, awesome. A little bit harder to find, but not wildly difficult to find. I just don't have one yet. If I'm going to complete my Borgatorium, I got to get it. However, this next one, this one is hard and this one is expensive. And that is, of course, our Cobalt Blue 7 of 9, which I believe, according to Wixaban, and I might be reading this incorrectly, this was not available in the States. It was only UK and Australia, and they only made 4,000 of them. And it's a bummer because that's a really cool figure. The 7 of 9s have almost no articulation, but you know why. Yeah, so that's definitely a figure that I need to get my hands on. Mike, what's it going for on eBay?
He's still looking. I think I spelled it wrong. Let's talk about the next one. I'll come back to it.
All right. You know what you should do? Yeah, as we do this, look them up and figure out what we can get them for on eBay. So the next one is also not rare. It's Ensign Wesley, and this is Wesley in his regular next gen uniform as a full ensign. From the 7th season. I for some reason had it in my head that this one was rare because I couldn't find it, but it's not. Thanks to our friends at Playmates Star Trek Toys, were able to tell me that it's not particularly rare.
Yeah, but Cobalt she's going international edition. She's going for $225.
$225. Okay. Well, this next one will be another one good to look up because this one is Redemption Data. This one I covet. I covet them all. Who am I kidding? But this one is very hard to find. The red Data, especially in package. Let me guess, that's probably going for about $300. Yeah, Mike?
You can find it for a sensible $269 or best offer, Keith.
Okay. Well, yeah. So that's. It's a great figure. I don't. What was it say?
Oh, this one. This person here doesn't know what they have. Apparently, it's only $200.
If it's a Playmates figure, if you're selling it for more than $10, you know what you have. Yeah. So, so there you go. Red Data. That's definitely one that I want. I needed to be a different tax bracket to spend $200.
What about that custom though? The custom wasn't bad.
Custom was great, but I want the real deal. Not that the customs aren't real, but I still want them. Next one up is Thomas Riker, another slightly limited edition. They didn't make a ton of these. It's not anywhere near as rare or valuable as Red Data. And basically, it's just a repaint of Series 1 Riker. So including all the ripped up, torn parts of him, they just painted over it.
Oh, amazing.
So they didn't even change the mold. And you can actually see they just painted over the whatevers. So yeah, so a little bit harder to find. I don't have it yet, but it's not like a big deal. It'll come to me. So coming up next is a whole bunch of Transporter series, and this is the original cast in the Transporter series. I have all the next gen ones. I have all the Target exclusive ones, weirdly, from the original series, but I don't have the main set of them. So we've got Kirk, and we have Uhura coming up next.
Oh, sorry. I was looking at
That's all right. You're doing many things. I don't have Spock. And so these are all with their stand and the light up and the battery. They're really cool kind of figures. I wasn't on board with them for a while, but I grew into them once I started doing them on the show.
People are selling them all together for under $100, Keith.
Oh yeah, no, this is a very doable thing. Scotty, and then you have McCoy. So it's like I said, some of these I just don't have because I just haven't bothered to purchase them, not because they're unachievable. But anyway, really cool. I just don't have them. So next up is actually that tri-set of the 1701 collection. I told you I have Yar, I have Barclay. I actually don't have a Picard. Even the unnumbered 1701 Picard. So again, not difficult, not hard to get. I just don't happen to have one yet. So that's just what happens. So coming up next, is a little bit spoilery for Mike, but I'm not going to give you a lot of information about it. But it's Lita from Deep Space Nine. Mike has not met her yet on the show, but she is going to become a member of our family.
Oh, I can't
on
wait.
the show. That is Lita the Dabo Girl. Don't have it. Again, not wildly difficult to get. Just don't have one. Next one is a little bit more difficult, and this is the Toy Fair exclusive Tasha Yar, beaming Tasha Yar. So Tasha gets a 1701. She gets a season 2 or season 1, and she also gets a beaming one. Now, the Toy Fair exclusive beaming figures did not come with the stands to light them up in the backdrop. So it's just the figure by itself. I do have the Spock one, but I do not have the Tasha Yar.
$15.
Yeah, it's totally doable. Yeah. Totally doable. So the next one is a really fascinating one. I didn't even know existed. But again, our friends at Wixaban have the deepest line of collected stuff. So this one is interesting because you think, oh my God, it came with a Patrick Stewart signature. No, it didn't. This is Wizard, which I get. Somebody's going to yell at me because I don't know this, but the Wizard toy company.
Oh.
It's signed by the president of the toy company. It was a mail away from Toy Fair magazine number 11. I have no idea how many of these were made. I have no idea how valuable they are. I've never seen one in the wild. And it is signed by Gareb Shamus.
It looks pretty cool.
Well, it's the Toy Fair Picard from Tapestry, which I have a couple of. That like I guess they made about 10,000 of. Yeah, so it's like a special packaging around that figure. No idea what it's worth. Never seen one in the wild.
I can tell you right here.
Oh yeah?
We got a Wizard certified authentic Captain Picard action figure signed by Gareb Shamus with certificate of authenticity, Keith.
Yeah. What's it going for?
$100 plus $10 shipping.
All right. Well, there you go. We answered some questions. Boy, we're breaking some hard news here on the show. All right. Next up is another Toy Fair exclusive. And that is Captain Kirk from A Piece of the Action in his pinstripe suit. Another one probably limited to about 10,000. I don't think it's wildly valuable or hard to get. I just don't have one yet.
I like the little insignia window. That's cool.
Yeah, well, because it doesn't come with, usually comes with a stand, but no choking hazards. Maybe a phaser, but none of the regular nonsense. And yeah, I mean, it's cool. I'll definitely get one at some point. I just don't have one yet. So next up, this is an interesting one, right? So there's a non-canon character called Captain Mackenzie Calhoun. And this was available in the Star Trek Communicator magazine as a mail away. So he's from the beta canon, and I have a couple of the regular figures, but this one is a super limited edition. Is a mail away offer from Diamond PX Previews magazine, I guess. It comes with a sword. That's kind of cool. But this is super limited edition. It is 1 out of 1,000. Sequentially numbered and signed by Peter David. So I have no idea. This one probably is not available anywhere, is it, Mike?
I mean, you can get it unsigned for $20, but signed, I don't know.
Yes, well, I have that. Yeah, the signed one. I don't know if I'm ever going to get that one. And so lastly, this is the big dog. This is the most difficult one in all of Star Trek toys to get your hand on. I have never seen one in the wild because this one never existed in the wild. This is the trifold Borg figure that was never commercially available. Apparently there was less than 500 produced, and it was a promotional item given away when Star Trek First Contact came out, only available to licensees. It was not released in the public. So this, is there any available? There are. Oh, what's it going for?
Well, give me a guess. Best offer, so anything's possible.
Or best offer. I'm going to say $900.
No, you do better than that.
Oh, yeah?
$650.
$650. Okay.
Or best offer.
Or best offer. All right. So that's, that's not as impossible. But it's weird because the figure itself is literally just a copy of Series 1 Borg. And so you're paying, as opposed to paying $4 for the figure, you're paying $650 for the packaging. But these are this is the trifold Borg. That's going to be probably the most expensive, most difficult one to get your hands on. So that is, as far as I can tell, according to my spreadsheet, the complete missing parts of my collection. I don't know if that was interesting to anybody, except for to the folks out there who have these figures saying like, I've got something Keith doesn't.
I wasn't kidding before. I'm going to say it again. If you have any of these figures Keith doesn't have, especially some of these like really rare exclusives, send them our way in the wild. Let us see. Let us change. At least Keith can, next time we do the episode, Keith can say, I have seen it in the wild and I can't have it. Or even better, if you really want to stick it to my boy over here, mail it to me. And let me have it.
Yeah, someone's going to mail you a $600 figure just to spite me.
Mike spends his work bonus, buys trifold Borg, and Jen's like, what's this? And I was like, well, it's probably the end of my partnership and my marriage because I spent $700.
The only people in the entire world who would go through that much effort to spite me would be you or my brothers. So
well, pretty much one and the same, buddy.
And you're the only one who watches this show, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, that was fun.
All right. Well, thank you, the Redhead Project, for the idea to do this video. This was really fun, and it got me all excited to get back on eBay so I can start whittling away at the figures that I don't have. If you have enjoyed this, give us a like and a subscribe. You can check out the entire archive of more than 100 episodes of Look at My Star Trek Toys in the playlist that this video is a part of. You can also check us out reviewing Deep Space Nine episode by episode on Keith and Mike Watch Deep Space Nine. You can also, listen to us talk about who the hell knows what on K&M Geekly. It's pretty free-flowing, so sometimes it's utter nonsense. Sometimes it gets pretty deep. And we are supported, of course, by our patrons, Mike.
Yeah, of course. Our friends, our colleagues, our countrymen. Actually, that's not true. Brian Kaufman, Casey Clark, Jason Moe, Andrew Hayes, Jorge Novo, and the mysterious Worf's Big Ol' Boot Shiv, CRM Productions, Charles Babbage, Mr. V, at Grim_Toys, Delusions at Noon. Join the team, patreon.com/KNM.
Yes, indeed. We thank you very much. We will see you back here next week with another episode of Look at My Star Trek Toys. Till then, this has been
My Star Trek Toys.